this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
I'm James, and we love you, Salty Tadpoles, so much that we are doing this from like our collective sick beds, because
Yes.
I feel a bit ropey, but Gemma is feeling really ropey. Gemma is the sort of thing that she's feeling so ropey she would be on a ship being used to tie things up.
I definitely
But she's
am.
still here. She's still here. How good is that? You really need to appreciate this, Salty Tadpoles. You really need to appreciate this one.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, tell your friends all about this one and actually get us the most listens on this episode as we've ever had.
Absolutely. It's the future.
Yeah, definitely. So if I don't know, because to me I sound a little bit like, nah. So if I do sound like that, then I'm ever so sorry, but we'll get into why in a few minutes. But yeah, again, we're going to say this. Probably going to be a short episode this week.
It really probably will be this week. I'm going to hold us to it.
Yeah, I'm almost in the case where I'm going to hold us to it. So 30 seconds. Okay, that will do.
Yep. Enjoy, Salty Tadpoles. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's nice to talk to you. No, the reason why I insisted on doing this episode was because we obviously didn't release an episode last week because we weren't, either because of time constraints or straits or whatever the saying is, reason because of time or because one of us wasn't feeling well or the other one wasn't feeling well, kind of thing. It's like a sick report, definitely.
Yeah.
It's like Gemma and James's sick report.
Yeah.
So
I only laugh because generally one of us isn't feeling very well. And then if we can bring Joanne in at some point, we've got like the ultimate. We are the unhealthiest podcast known to man sort of thing.
Yep.
I mean, what Gemma did say is that she has done this because she wants us to have an episode that can come out this week. What you don't know is the other side of the coin where I said, Gemma, I feel a little bit delicate. And she's like, I don't care. You get your ass to that microphone, you record, and you put the effort in. And I said, yes, okay.
yes, yeah, definitely, yeah.
You can't see the video. She's dressed up as General Patton right now.
I'm laughing, but I actually just realising I don't really know what that person looks like.
Okay, I'll send you an image of the real and the film version. They're both very commanding presences. You'd expect they are generals, but we digressed. Gemma, you're not feeling so well. What's occurring?
Well, it's going to be one of my codswallops. So should we get into our codswallops, James?
Yes, absolutely. What is your codswallop?
Do you want to go first, actually? Because I've got quite a few.
No, I'm going to say ladies first because technically, if it's your stuff so good, I'll go, I can't top that.
Basically, you haven't got a codswallop this week then, is what you're saying.
I probably do, but I don't wish to discuss it so much. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to start with the lesser of the codswallops, really. Mm-hmm. The first one was, some people may have seen on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Codswallop Pod. Yes, I'm not sick enough to not promote us. I posted up a video of socks with a squeaky ball. So he has 4 of them and he has been non-stop squeaking of the balls. So squeaky balls. And I just wanted to say squeaky balls, if I'm honest. So, so the other day we had to actually turn the TV up to 50. And, obviously that's really, really loud. Just so that we could actually hear the TV program that we were trying to watch. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. So thanks, Socks. But most of the point, thanks, Mum and Graham for buying Socks said balls. But yeah, that's one of them. But obviously, like I said, that's not really a real one. I had a twat tax moment. So Andy will enjoy that. So yesterday, I was really excited because, the cost of petrol is obviously skyrocketed at the moment.
It's at an interesting level. I mean, I pay more than, because you're paying for petrol, so I'm paying more because of diesel.
Yeah.
But I know this story, and it did slightly make me chuckle because I have been there. But I will let Gemma go first. I would also like to say Gemma has shown great patience and resolve because if I had to put up with the socks thing, because I've seen the video, socks would be homeless right now. Because I'd just be like, you're moving out, dog. You're finding somewhere else to live. Or I'd put him in a kennel outside. One of the two anyway, just because the noise would send me absolutely doolally.
Yeah. But the thing is, actually, it's really making us laugh.
Your sanity completely breaks.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, it's a bit like, well, it's just reminding me of, Sooty and Sweep.
Oh, God, no.
Obviously, when Sweep was talking, it was like, squeak, 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 squeak. So, yeah. I'm actually surprised he's not out in the hallway chewing on his squeaky ball now.
Give him time. Give him time. You know it'll happen. It
definitely will. It definitely will. Go back to the twat tax because I got a little bit sidetracked there, and that was James's fault. Well, I drove past a petrol station and I saw that the cost of the petrol there was £1.58. So that's a good portion less than where most places are. So most places are like 167 upwards kind of thing really at the moment. And like I said, I don't have diesel. So, obviously I'm just looking at the petrol prices. So I pulled up, I drove back round because I was really excited and to save my 20p. per litre. And so I drove around and went back to the petrol station and I did the whole thing of pick up the pump and whatnot. It wasn't until I was actually filling up that I realised that I picked up the wrong unleaded pump. Picked up the one that actually was the what's it called, James?
It's premium fuel. Your car will thank you.
Yeah, the premium one. So the premium one was 172 and I was like, no!
Your purse will not thank you, but I can safely say your car will, because it's a lovely cleaning experience for the engine. Just be very grateful you're not driving like one of these high performance sports cars where you're basically told you have to use that kind of stuff to not bugger the engine.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I just, initially I was going to put £60 worth in, and get pretty much a full tank sort of thing.
God, I'd love the times that £60 would get me a full tank. I think I'm on like 200 plus for mine.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not exactly a full tank, but it's fuller sort of thing. But in the end, I put, well, to be honest, I had petrol in there anyway, but I put £30 in because I realised what I'd done. But yeah, initially I was like, oh my God, that's so bad. They're advertising that the price of the petrol is such and such, which I think was 158. But then when I've picked up the pump, it's 172. That's disgusting. I was going absolutely apeshit until I realised that I was the asshole.
and they're probably there going, yeah, we got some complete mental person trying to fill the car up. Doesn't seem to understand the pump differences.
No, I really don't. I don't understand it. I don't understand why there's got to be two different types of petrol. You just have the one type.
If you were driving a high-performance car and you put the normal stuff in, you really would not be a happy bunny rabbit because your car would be destroyed.
Yeah.
And we have to keep making sure that these companies get more money because they clearly do need it.
Yes, of course they do. Of course they do.
Yeah. So when I have to sell a lung or a kidney to fill up the car because it's God knows where it'll end. Allegedly, the oil prices are going to drop a bit and we'll see how things level out. But it's one of those. I mean, when I went to fill up on Sunday, I went early. I always try and get there when it opens because there's less people, and most of the pumps had actually run out of diesel. So I had to do the old, it's got a long stretchy hose thing, which is great. I managed to get over the boot and get into the car just about. The problem is that you're at a weird angle. So you can start filling it. The problem is actually getting the nozzle out the blooming thing.
Yes.
And I was thinking, please don't be stuck. Please don't be stuck. So they're fighting with it. Anyway, all is well. All is good.
You didn't have to drive off with a petrol pump then.
No, it's all rather Catholic. If you're thinking of a certain manner, having to withdraw, make sure there are no problems. Very Catholic, and we'll leave it at that.
Not able to pull out.
No, I was just worried. Would I be able to pull out in time? Would I get petrol all over the car? Diesel over the car? Very Catholic problem.
Absolutely. And also, I should just say as well that my laptop is making some very loud noises. So if anybody can hear that other than James when I've done the editing, then I do apologise. I'm not an airport.
She's not in a jet fighter, people. She's not heading out to do anything she shouldn't be doing. She is simply trying to record a podcast.
I simply am. So it might be the case that maybe a laptop is needed on my birthday list.
Hint, hint. Come on, Salty Tadpoles. Reach deep into those pockets. Get that money out and buy Gemma a laptop. Now, she's not specified what sort of laptop. So it could be like a 10, 15-year-old shitty model that you found on like one of these strange areas of Gumtree advertising, products, laptops, etc., and possible questionable services that you can buy from people.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer a decent one, but that's fine too.
The sort of thing where the advertisement in Tusk would turn up in that sort of corner of the magazine. Where Gemma has to go to a strange person's house to get a laptop, and then stranger, I'm just there going, well, I seem to be podcasting, Talking Codswallop completely on my own now. No one's seen Gemma for about a month.
Do you know, actually, that's really funny that you bring that up, because that reminded me of something. I was speaking to Andy Barr, who, previous host, just in case nobody knows that. James, you know who that is, don't you?
I do. I remember working with Andy. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah, absolutely. But so he was sort of messaging me saying that, WhatsApp is the only way I can get hold of him now, because he's left Twitter and he's also off Facebook and whatnot. So anyway, he said, how are you? So I said to him how I was feeling. And he said, oh, no, please don't die, because I can't cope with too many reviews of DC.
Well, I'm afraid to say now that Andy has said that, he's just up the quota. So from now on, it's all DC all the time on Celluloid Codswallop, and I'm going to get Joanne, and we're going to do the promised 12-hour review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And the problem is, Andy, no one's going to stop it happening, because Gemma will be, living with Mr. Tusk. So, yeah, the gauntlet has been thrown down now.
Absolutely, yes. No.
12 hours, every minute, Andy, every minute of the film will be broken down and discussed. Remember, it's a 4-hour film. We'll make it to 12. Hell, we might even get 14 out of it.
I mean, to be fair, I'd be actually really impressed if you could talk for 12 hours solid. I actually would be really impressed.
I don't know if I could do the 12 hours solid. I'd probably have to break it down to do it. But we could give it a shot. I mean, Joanna and I will have to live on some sort of diet consisting of Red Bull mixed with cola, mixed with...
coffee.
Coffee, yeah. They're like quadruple espressos. And probably by like it'd be very interesting on a 12-hour recording to see what sort of level our sanity would be at close to the end of it. Just continuous recording.
I mean, after 2 hours, you're pretty mental.
Yeah. The big problem we'd have is bathroom breaks, though, because we'd have to do it in shifts. It'd be like, right, I'm going now, Joanne. I go, right. And then she goes, yeah. A shift pattern. It can be done. Oh, yes.
Yes, or you just pee in a bucket.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Well, actually, oh God, that reminds me of something else as well, but I'm not sure if I want to bring that up at the moment. But anyway, going back to next week. Next week, I have given James permission to record the review of The Batman.
The Batman.
Who, hopefully, he's going to have some special guests with him. So I probably won't be on it.
If I don't have any guests, it'd be the very one-sided review. I thought this. What did you think, James? Well, I thought this. And they'd be going, yeah, he's finally cracked. He's just talking to himself.
Well, hopefully Sean is going to be joining him, and Jamie Westwood as well. So. Yes. And Jamie Westwood is from the Chronicles podcast. So, yeah, let him promote his stuff when he's on the episode, James, if you can.
Absolutely. No, I will. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be interesting to hear everybody's views on it. So, yeah, I look forward to that. It should be good.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that. It's going to be, because I think we're all going to have probably slightly different takes on the film, which will be interesting. I look forward to it. It'll be good. And then as the year goes on, we might be able to discuss some of the other films that are coming out in the DC and cinematic world, if any of them actually do get released on time.
Yeah, well, if you ask me nicely, anyway.
Yes. I mean, The Flash is now in 2023, so we could all be dead by then. Who knows? None of us could ever get to see the film.
Well, I hope we do get to see that film, because that's one of the ones that I actually would like to watch. So
excellent.
There you go. And right, so I should move on to my third Codswallop.
Yep. I'm intrigued. Go on. What got you riled up?
So the reason why I'm feeling a bit poo is because it doesn't really matter what day, but anyway, my neighbour popped over. My mum was redoing her will, and obviously she needed somebody outside of the family to sort of countersign it and whatnot. So the neighbour came over and did that, which is obviously very kind of her. And unfortunately, though, the following day, she tested positive for COVID.
Not good.
Yeah. So, I mean, Graham, who's mum's other half, he's really suffering today, but we've both done, because I'm really feeling crap as well. But we've both done tests and they've come back negative, but I'm still feeling really crap. So I don't,
oh dear.
Yeah, I don't quite know why, whether it's that, whether it's just a cold or, something like that. But yeah, I'm just, I'm feeling a bit poo. So,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I am too.
I mean, I am also slightly shocked that your mother made you aware she's changing the will, because, we decided we'd keep that quiet, because it's all coming to me. But I mean, guess, obviously the cat's out the bag. So,
It is. Yep. I had to, I looked at it and I went, yep. James Stafford.
Yeah. Well, it all makes sense, quality, leave it to the right person. It'll be in safe hands. I won't make you homeless straight away.
Okay, thank you.
I'll give you about a week. I'm a fair man. I'm not that harsh, despite what people think.
Well, I mean, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you ever so much.
Yeah, so. It's all right. And I'm going to be honest, going by my previous track record of fairness in the housing field, I'll make sure, okay, I'm not going to lie, you'll be evicted on Christmas Eve, but, it gives you, it's all good. By the new year, I'm sure you'll have something by the new year. You'll be all right. It's all fine.
It's, you're definitely Scrooge McDuff.
McDuff?
Yes. Scrooge. That was DuckTales, wasn't it? Scrooge McDuff.
McDuck.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But hey, wank wank quackers. Yeah.
Actually, I have got a fourth Codswallop as well. Actually.
Ooh, yes. What's the fourth one? I really am. No, I'm intrigued. Go on. What's the fourth one?
Well,
sock it to me.
This is an embarrassing one, actually, and I can't believe I'm saying it.
Even better.
But so I either came home or I came, I came out of my bedroom, one of the two. I can't remember where it was, but anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically Graham had gone into the bathroom to have a bath, and wherever I was, I didn't realise that he'd done that, and we've only got the one bathroom in our house. I say it's a house, it's a bungalow anyway, but regardless. So I was absolutely desperate for a wee. I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? I said to Mum, I'm going to have to go out. I said, I'm going to have to find somewhere, public toilet or whatever, to go to the toilet. And she goes, oh, just pee in a bucket. So in the end, I had to pee in a bucket, James.
Well, these are the things I never ever thought I'd hear on this podcast. Not that I think I would be discussing it, certainly on this evening's podcast, but these things happen. I mean, I personally would have just gone to a neighbour and said, is there any chance I could use your toilet? But, hey, we're all different sorts, aren't we? I go and find a neighbour and do it sanitary. You piss in a bucket. The world is all made of different sorts of people. Out of interest, after your mother had suggested you do this, did she start telling you the potato story again? I think she's just punishing you. I don't think this is niceness at all. I think she's like, let's see how much we can screw her over. We'll get her to tell a potato story that'll just sound weird. We'll make her pee in a bucket, and we'll get the dog as many toys as it can to squeak, squeak, squeak.
Yes, I think, yeah.
And to top it all, she's left everything to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and and she also made me drop my microphone earlier as well. So you know.
How did the microphone? And just don't worry, I don't want the bucket. But anyway, how did you drop the microphone?
Oh no, I just she didn't really make me drop the microphone. I just did that by accident. So
Right.
it just fell on the floor. So it was a real mic drop moment, just like me
Yes.
peeing in a bucket.
Yep, that is definite two huge heavy mic drop moments there. And one goes splash.
Yeah, definitely. So I've it's true that I'm always truthful on this podcast.
It is,
So
it is.
so I hope somebody got enjoyment out of that.
Yeah. Especially there'll be a segment of the audience who really will be digging that for various different reasons.
That's
that
fine.
You probably don't ever want to think of. I want a show of hands on this one. Not a real show of hands, but voting ideas, salty tadpoles. How many of you expected to be listening to a pee story on this episode? I think it'll be low. Although there'll be somebody goes, yeah, I could see it. I could envision it. Yeah.
Things you have to do when you're desperate for a wee. I'm not,
Yeah. Well, live and learn. Keep a bucket to hand in the worst case scenario.
Well, but there we are. So, have you got any Codswallop this week, James? Because obviously I've covered every single Codswallop known to man there. So
I cannot beat anything that you've put in there. I think I'm suitably traumatized enough by what you've told me to the realistic thing being that I cannot know what I want to try and beat any of those.
Well, before we get on to like a story of the week or whatever, have you been watching anything fun just lately?
What have I? I've been watching. We've come towards the final sort of stage of Pam and Tommy.
Yeah.
But I've not yet watched the final episode of that. I have been watching Picard. Joanne, I hope you're listening. Please start watching. I need to be able to talk to somebody else about this and do a review of it. I've also been, what I did watch was, I've been watching like bits of South Park and the Goldbergs, so just the general things I watched, but it's all not been too bad. But the Goldbergs is kind of losing its edge now that they've lost sort of two main characters, but it's still reasonably enjoyable and fun to watch. So yeah, I've been reasonably happy with what I've been watching. How about you?
Well, I was just having a quick look on my Netflix account because I couldn't remember what they were called. But so
Netflix account?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were saying what are they called? And I said they're called Netflix account.
No, I couldn't remember what the programs were called. So,
right. Okay, I get you.
Yeah, so one of them is called Pieces of Her, which is really, really good actually. It's really confusing at first. And I kind of don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to give anything away. But it's got, I've forgotten her name, but Tony, famous actress, James.
Toni Collette?
Yes, that's the one. Toni Collette. And so it's got her in it and she's the mum and basically, it starts with kind of like they're in a cafe and all of a sudden, somebody pulls a gun and she is like the hero of the moment kind of thing. But she says, don't talk to the police about it. And it's all very cagey and very, mysterious kind of thing. And it's kind of trying to work out the reason why she's being the way she is. A couple of episodes in, you kind of then work out the reason why she's being the way she is. And the daughter's sent off because it's not safe for her to be in the area. So she goes off to, it's kind of going to a safe place, basically. But along the way, she's sort of finding out bits and pieces about her mum that she didn't know. So it's really gripping.
But yeah, it rings a bell. I think I might have seen a trailer or something for it, so...
Yeah, you might.
I'll have a look for that.
Yeah, like I said, it's on Netflix, so it's and I really highly recommend it. But I also don't want to say anything really too much about it, because I know that it made literally no sense to me. I was sort of sitting there watching it for the first couple of episodes saying, I really have no idea what's going on here. So it's like a proper mystery one. And then all of a sudden it's like episode 2 or 3. I can't remember exactly what episode I'm on now, but around about the sort of 3rd episode mark, you kind of get the idea as to what is going on.
It's always fun when it's really just weird out there stuff. When you're watching a show that almost makes no sense, but then sort of pulls things together. I do like stuff like that. It's always interesting to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and there was another film that I watched as well. Sorry if my phone's interfering with the audio at the second, but I will be putting it down. I watched a film.
Sounds okay.
Yeah, I watched a film that came out in 2016, which is called Wild Oats. And it's got Jessica Lange in it, Shirley MacLaine, and Demi Moore as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen this film?
I haven't. No. Tell me more.
Okay, so basically, one of the characters becomes a widow character. So she's the one who was in oh God, I've completely blanked. Oh fuck.
Go on. I need a little bit more.
Got Dolly Parton in it.
Steel Magnolias.
Yes, I was going to say it's to do with a flower. Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I know what it is. So, yeah.
So she's one of the characters in that. But you know, she looks very different in this film. Yes, so basically she's become a widow. It turns out that the pension people, it's not pension, but it's whatever they're called over there, instead of £50,000, they give her £5 million.
Nice.
Yeah. So she's like trying to work out whether she should actually cash the check, because she realizes obviously it's not legit, or if she should go, you know, off and spend it, or be honest, you know, whatever. So she tries to be honest, but then she gets the automated telephone call messages. So they're like, press 1 for such and such, press 2 for such and such. And so this is all in the opening scene, really. And they're just like tearing their hair out because they can't actually speak to a human about it. So anyway, so they decide that they're going to go cash the check, and, you know, they're really scared to sort of do it, but, you know, they do it regardless. And obviously then it's flagged up by the company who obviously provided the check, and they are being investigated. But then at this point they've already gone away on holiday, and it's got Billy Connolly. Oh my God. Billy Connolly,
the big yin.
Yes, thank you. So I'm not even going to carry on trying to attempt it. So it's got him in it, and he's like a fraudster.
Right, yeah.
So, you know, typical sort of Billy Connolly person, character. And so it's like, it just like the story carries on. So it's a proper comedy sort of thing. It's, you know, but it's really silly comedy. So that's good. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend it if you just fancy sort of having something to watch that you don't have to focus too much on.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, James, should we, because we're only doing the 30 minutes and we're already at 32 minutes, but we also did do a bit of recording beforehand, so I think it will probably be 32. 30. Did you want to do your story of the week, James?
Yes, I do. So, a depressed parrot who stopped talking finds a new voice and tells his new owners, to F off.
I think we've covered this story before.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But this is dated for today. So, this week. So Jessie, the potty mouth African grey, was so down in the dumps he decided to pluck out feathers.
Aww.
And they do that.
Yeah.
However, animal rescue workers have found him a new home, and he's making himself very comfortable. His 4-letter outbursts are accompanied by various rude words. He loves to make fart noises, jokes and swear, owner Rachel Leather said. His language is awful. Jessie was nattering away soon after he arrived at her house in Aberdare, South Wales. She said, and he's very bad there and there, she said, and his personality is really coming out. He just makes us roar with laughter. I'll just say, let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
When rescue workers at Ashley Heath Animal Centre in Dorset Okay, that explains a lot, but anyway. First took Jessie into their care, it was clear he'd experienced more than his fair share of grief and stress. Parrots, who learn to speak by hearing words and mimicking them, often have large vocabularies. But 9-year-old Jessie didn't say a word, except for sadly whispering goodbye to our SPCA staff. I'm not quite sure I believe that, but nevertheless. It's not surprising he was struggling after such a sudden change, behavioural welfare advisor Hannah Hawkins said. He seemed lonely and depressed after such a loss. We knew we needed to get Jessie into a home environment as quickly as possible. Now the gobby bird has stuck up a rapport with dog behaviourist Rachel, and he's settling well with her family and their 2 dogs and 5 cats. Oh dear God, that sounds like hell.
That sounds like an animal food chain, actually, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does actually, yeah. After learning Rachel's partner calls her babe, he also shouts babe to get her attention and tells her to F off. When I tell Jesse he's funny, he responds, yes, effing hilarious, Rachel said. He even watches my partner play PlayStation and laughs when his character has died. She looks forward to seeing her foul-mouthed friend's personality and confidence grow as he makes himself at home. We absolutely love him, she said. And the RSPCA urge anyone thinking of owning a pet bird to consider adopting one of the many unwanted birds it cares for.
Aww.
And because I got this article from the Metro, that's it, folks. That's the end of the article.
That's the end of the article.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, but it sounds like he's going to have a good fucking life though, doesn't it?
It certainly does. I mean, I'm not sure how long I could put up with him going mental and swearing, but he sounds like, he'd be game for a laugh sort of thing. So yeah, it's all going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure, until he's swearing in front of kids and tell them to go F themselves and other foul language. But yeah, and he does look a bit, poor thing does not look well in the pictures, so hopefully he'll get his feathers back and be okay.
Well, that, strangely enough, has reminded me quickly of a very brief encounter of, not of the third kind, but...
Were you at a train station?
I was, yes. No.
Right, okay, that's interesting. Very brief encounter, but keep going. I'm intrigued. You've got my attention.
Okay, well, shut up then and let me talk.
So harsh. Go on.
Basically, I was pulling up to traffic lights. So obviously the traffic lights turned red. And there was this elderly gentleman who was crossing the road. And he had a bit of a funny walk. He kind of was walking a bit like he was sloped. Not sloped, but on an angle backwards, if that makes sense. So it's really odd walk. But anyway... so I'm sort of focusing on his walk thinking, what the hell is he doing? All of a sudden, then I notice on his shoulder, he's walking around with a parrot on his shoulder.
So he's basically, where was this? Where were you?
It was going on the way to Portland. So
right, okay.
It was, and it was only a couple of weeks ago.
You're surrounded by pirates.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, although we call them smugglers here rather than pirates.
Well, smugglers, pirates, locals,
We're dodgy sorts, so yeah. Well, James, I think we've successfully done a 30-minute episode with a little bit of change here, so...
Almost.
Yeah. Obviously, people still go and check out our YouTube channel. You know, we still need those numbers to grow. Yeah, so I think that we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
I have been James.
And I'm going to go and have a little sleep now. Night, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.